Hello everyone, and welcome to this newsletter as we approach the winter solstice and the shortest day of the year this weekend. With only 2 weeks of term remaining, we're through the hard yards of term 2, and this week with the GAT and year 8 to 11 exams, we're almost at the end of the term. In the last newsletter, I wrote something about our culture and the importance of respectful relationships with one another. I emphasised the importance of learning and showing respect for everybody, but particularly for women. And I did mention that some of our younger students had not been meeting our expectations in this area recently. One silver lining, not really unexpected, was the response of our senior students. Some badged leaders and some not asked to speak to our younger students, and an assembly was arranged. The senior students were outstanding, both in their messaging at the assembly and in their modelling. Early last week I had the opportunity to speak with our Year 12s, and I was delighted to congratulate them on this and a range of other positives. I was delighted to affirm the way that the vast majority are dealing with their Year 12. There's a sense among staff that this is a strong group from whom we can expect high quality leadership, high quality example, and high quality academic performance in 2025. While there are many obstacles to navigate between now and graduation, things so far give us every confidence that the group will navigate them very well. Data continually shows that school attendance is one of the strongest predictors of student success. When students miss class, they run the risk of developing gaps in their learning. They also create additional workload for teaching staff, who then have to try to catch them up when they return. Of course, we understand that students will become ill from time to time, in which case it's important that they are not at school. However, we consistently have students away from school for what I would regard as spurious or unacceptable reasons. These include things like being tired after a late night or an exhausting weekend, or sometimes because the student has advised a parent that, well, there's nothing really important on at school today, and they're allowed to stay home. We also have family holidays significantly impacting student attendance. So far this year, we've had almost 100 families advise that they're taking their boys out of school during term time for a holiday. I don't know how many others have done so without following our protocols and advising the school. Class time missed has ranged between 1 week and 4 months. Some students have missed exams and assessments, and some have been doing VCE subjects. Occasionally parents have asked that we rearrange exams or the timing of assessments to accommodate the boys' holiday, and the answer to that has always been no. In some situations, the rationale is understandable. A terminally ill grandparent overseas is one such example, but many others appear to effectively be prioritising cheap airfares and accommodation over student learning. May I respectfully ask that families prioritise attendance at school instead. Many families know that our governing body is Edmund Rice Education Victorian Schools Limited, but perhaps not many know that the CEO and Director of VSL is Mr. Andy Coopey. Andy was Foundation CEO and Director and has been marvellous over the last 3 years in navigating the organisation and the schools through a tumultuous time in Catholic education. He's also been a great advocate and friend of St Joseph's. Andy recently tendered his resignation and will be greatly missed. The last 2 weeks have seen significant sporting success, with 6 of our 7 teams reaching semi-finals in the ACC competition. Congratulations to all involved. Our Year 9 and senior soccer teams won their way through to the final next week, as did both our first and second Year 9 football teams. Our Year 10 footballers were narrowly defeated, and our senior football team lost in controversial circumstances to an after-the-siren opposition goal after a 25-metre penalty. Angry and upset, the players reacted with class, grace and sportsmanship, the like of which many adults would have found difficult to exhibit under the same circumstances. They deserve our admiration and congratulations. So best wishes to all our finalists next week. And finally, I'm really pleased to announce that classes commenced yesterday in our new art building. The building itself is terrific. The grounds surrounding it, there's still quite a deal of landscaping work to take place, but the building itself is a triumph, and our art staff are very grateful to be teaching in that building, and our students very grateful to be in it. God bless.